Yes, hey there, welcome to our second pod of the season. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ross, and this week, airing their thoughts on audio and video, we have Vijhay Vick from
Hi,
442. Hello, Vijay. We also have Nicolas Anil from the Malay Mail.
Hi guys, hi everyone.
Do follow us on Facebook, Malaysian Football Weekly on Facebook. There's also All Sports Asia on Facebook. And do check out our website, www.allsports.net, for all your MSL FA Cup highlights. We are also on Twitter, @AllSportsAsia, so you know what to do, all right? This week, of course, we're going to talk about the FA Cup quarterfinals, second legs, which are coming up, but we're going to start with our national side. and with that, I turn over to these two gentlemen over here and say, all right, we wrapped up our World Cup qualifying campaign, played 8, won 1, drew 1, lost 6. We ended up second from bottom, 4 points, not good. The last game was a 2-0 away defeat to Saudi, an acceptable loss, wasn't it?
Well, if acceptable or not, well, it's a loss. But if you want to say acceptable, yeah, I think maybe a 2-0 score was not as bad as maybe 6, 7 or 10. What I don't understand is there's nothing to be glad about or happy about. But at the same time, there's nothing much you can do to criticize that performance against Saudi, because look at Algeria at the 2014 World Cup. They defended for maybe 95% or 98% of their games, and they earned lots of praises.
I know Brendan Gunn was quite vocal after the game. He wasn't pleased. He said, look, we didn't play football, but when you're playing Saudi away from home, considering we got tonked 10-0, there's not a lot else we can do, right?
Correct. But I see the goals that were considered as well were pretty soft goals. Malaysia did well, I think, first half. We defended in numbers, but again, it shows the vulnerability of the team at the back. And if you look at Saudi, it just shows the gulf of class at times. Saudi, they take their time to pick the right passes, and when they penetrate, our defense just look lost at times. But having said that, Vijay is right. 2-0 is a very good scoreline as compared to the bashings we've received before this.
Absolutely. Okay, a word about our Thai cousins, who made it through their group, so they're through to the next round of qualification. Their group was easier, let's give them that, but they still won it.
Yep, and the brand of football they play, Ross, is the emphasis on grassroots developments, and Kiatisuk being at the helm of the team. He just knows what he wants to do with the team. He has a vision for the team, and it shows in the players' performance. If you want to compare Thailand on a Southeast Asian region, I think they are head and shoulders above the other teams.
They're the Brazil of Southeast Asia.
You look at the way they've been playing. Well, I won't say Brazil, because Brazil is crap. Well, if you look at the Barcelona of Europe, as in the Barcelona in Europe, and in Southeast Asia you've got Thailand, and they're clearly miles apart, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them break into the top 100 in the world next year, because mind you, they're going to be playing with the 12 best countries in Asia next, and it's only going to do wonders to them. And as Nicole said, Kiatisuk is not just with the national team, he's at the head of everything. And he's been there from under 23 and going up all over.
And how far are we behind Malaysia? How can we hope to catch up?
5 years or 6 years ago, we could say we were on par with Thailand, but now we've just dropped 1 or 2 levels below. We're probably the same level as Macau.
Well,
I'm not going to put Malaysia as low as Macau. I still think on our day we can beat Singapore, we can beat Vietnam. Well, the Vietnams are ahead, but on our day I think we can still beat.
Okay, well, let's talk about Macau, because we followed up the 2-0 loss against Saudi with a goalless draw at home against Macau. It was at home in Malacca. The game was quite a good turnout. The team ranked 20 odd places below Malaysia,
the second worst ranked team in Asia,
and we failed to score.
Yeah, sadly.
So okay, they were booed off the pitch. It wasn't a great performance. First of all, let's talk about the lineup. It was 4-4-2 to start off with.
Yep.
Is that the way we should be going?
Nah, I don't think. I have said this from last year. I don't think a two-man midfield is what we can play. Safiq Rahim can play in a two-man midfield. So can Badrul. But look at their clubs. They partner imports, and
good ones too.
Haris Harun is. I rate Haris Harun the best defensive midfielder in Southeast Asia. We don't have anything close to him or even half as good as him at this moment.
And even up front, Nick, we're relying still on 35-year-old Amri Yahya, as good as he is.
Exactly, Ross. You look at the front line, and it's the same front line that featured in the 2010 AFF. We're still relying on the likes of Amri, who's at 35 giving his best each game, but
he's still your best striker. That's
still your best striker.
That's
exactly. That is our predicament at the moment. And you go back to Noor Sharul, who was struggling with fitness and lack of goals. But apart from them, who else have we got?
Well, okay, let's talk about.
Well, Ahmad Hassan Bakri. That's the only player I can think of who
is
ready for the national team. You've got the Terengganu lad who's still young coming in.
What about Noor Sharul? Is there a chance for him back? He's 30 now. He should be at the peak.
In all honesty, I saw Noor Sharul showing a lot of hunger. A lot of players were a bit complacent, but Noor Sharul showed hunger. He was there trying to beat the players. Yeah, the end result was not there, but you could see that he was trying, and that's better than not doing anything at all.
Yeah, for me, one of the bright lights was definitely Azrif Nasr on the right hand side. He showed no fear. He was
back, back, right wing.
He was taking on the player willingly. That's what we need in the national side, and perhaps we really do need Safiq Rahim in every game in central midfield for us.
We definitely need Safiq. I think he is the best central midfielder we have.
Yep.
Don't you agree?
Yep.
But still, I don't think he's good enough to play in a two-man midfield with a partner as good as Haris Harun.
Okay, what about our under-22s then? They won convincingly against the Philippines, right? But drew against Nepal recently. Full Nepalese side. That's the future of Malaysian football, right? That team.
Yep. Very disappointing as well, considering the Nepal team, a lot of its senior players have been disbanded because of match fixing allegations.
I understand they were managed by a sports editor. There was a sports...
That was Macau.
That was Macau. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Nepal, that wasn't... Okay, they're the full side. It was a learning curve for our young kids.
Yes, learning curve, but nonetheless, a team like Nepal with very lacking facilities and players who are not performing at the league which is equivalent to the Malaysian league, so we don't have an excuse to draw against teams like this. And Frank Bernhard hasn't covered himself in glory. Before this, they had some issues with, I think, the assistant manager, the hiring of the assistant manager.
Well, he's gonna get another assistant manager.
Yeah,
it's just matter of time.
He just hasn't delivered yet, and I think he hasn't found the right combination for the team, and he's just not good enough at this stage, Ross.
What next then for our national side? What are we aiming for? It's no more World Cup qualification.
Well, you've got the playoff draw, which is happening next week, and we have to win that, because if we don't win that, it means we are really bad, because we are outside the top maybe 40 countries in Asia if we don't win in the playoffs. Because we need the playoffs so that we get more competitive matches next year and the following year. There's 2 rounds of playoffs.
Yeah.
If you lose the first one, you get into the second round of playoff. So, but if you win the first round, then you're through. And looking at the countries in the playoff, well, Yemen's going to be tough. Timor-Leste is going to be tough if they have the naturalized players. But the rest of the opponents, like Cambodia, Laos, it should be easy.
We should be beating.
But competitively, in a competitive match, I think the players would rise. Against Macau, they were very complacent.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Ong came out after the game, and he wasn't pleased either with the performance. Did he get it wrong on the night?
To put things into perspective, Ross, last year, Dato' Hamidin, the FAM General Secretary, said it will be an absolute failure if Malaysia fails to qualify for the 2019 Asian Cup. Because after we won the 2010 AFF, the marker was to qualify for the Asian Cup. Now we have fell way behind.
The target was actually the 2015 Asian Cup.
2015 Asian Cup, and we didn't make that. So the next target was the 2019. And if you look at Macau, their coach was a sports editor.
Yep.
Their left back was a sports writer. If you are playing against teams like that, whose nation is known for its gambling rather than its football and
horse racing,
Well, someone pointed out it's not even a country on the map.
Well, it's weird because it's actually owned by China, although it's Portuguese relations there, but the Football Association, there are two teams. There's the Macau team and the mainland.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And this kind of results got me thinking, maybe the next time me and Vijay could just suit up and play,
Well, not for Malaysia, but maybe if we go to Macau, yeah, probably.
Yeah, we have a good chance.
All right, so that's our talk on international football. Short break. When we come back, we're going to look at the FA Cup quarter-final second legs. Welcome back to our second ever MFW video pod. I'm Ross, and with me we've got Vijhay Vick from 442.
Hi Ross, hi everyone.
And Nicolas Anil from the Malay Mail. Now we've been talking about the national side, and we'll put that aside now because this weekend is the FA Cup quarter-final second legs. We're going to go through the 4 games for you. Kedah leads Sabah by 2-1. It's a nicely poised, this one. How's the second leg at the Darul Aman gonna turn out?
I spoke to Coach Tan not too long ago, and he's having a little bit of injury crisis coming into this match. Farhan's out injured. Awang is out injured as well, and he's
Amirul, sure?
Yeah. And he's got Kahe, who's also not fit at the moment. So that's a few key players out. Plus Badrul was also taken off against Macau. But he's definitely looking to win. I mean, Kedah having the advantage, playing at home. Coach Tan said he's confident, but not taking Sabah for granted, because Sabah being a state team, also looking for glory, not doing well in the Premier League so far. It's only 1 goal to overturn. So Kedah looking favourites, but with the injury crisis that they have at the moment, anything could happen. It could swing either way.
Yeah, I mean, Kedah had 8 players in action on international duty, whereas Sabah, none of them were called up. So they're well rested. They know they're chasing a goal here. Possible upset?
Well, some of the Malaysian players in the national team were well rested too. They didn't really do so
it's a great point you make. But yeah,
I think it's going to be a one-sided match for Kedah. There's no excuses if it's not at home. You've still got Liridon pulling strings in midfield. I think he's been excellent. Well, if Amirul doesn't play, you've got Shazwan Tajuddin who can play. Yeah. Badrul, I don't think Badrul's really bad, because I think he was taken off because he was a bit tired as well, because he played against Saudi. So you've got these players coming back from national team duty, and then you've got Farhan Abu Bakar. I rate Farhan Abu Bakar as the next Malaysian number 1.
Okay.
Izam is there, but Farhan looks bigger.
Yeah.
I've spoken to the coaches as well, and Farhan, if he works hard, he has a greater potential. So it all depends on which of these 2 goalkeepers work hard.
For you, Kedah has to be.
It has to be Kedah. I mean, the management is also a very demanding side. They want Kedah to go as far as they can in cup competition.
It's quite refreshing. You've got Coach Tan, who actually local lad, loves it. He's been through everything from the start. So yeah, wicked. So that one is a Friday 9 o'clock kickoff. Kedah leading 2-1 from the first leg. In the other game, JDT lead PDRM by 1-0. The return is going to be at Larkin. Of course, it was a Lucero penalty, wasn't it, that settled the first leg. Cup favourites. They're favourites for everything when they play. Expected to win.
Yeah,
obviously.
It's very hard to see JDT losing this one, Ross, considering their form of late. 10 consecutive wins on the trot, playing really good football. If you take a look at the squad list, they are capable of putting out 2 good sides. They have the depth. And
wasn't it 3 good sides?
3 good sides
at least, yeah.
At least, with the amount of players and money they've been splurging on. But for me, PDRM, if there's any threat, it would definitely be through Ali Ashfaq, who is buoyed at the moment, having scored his 50th goal for Maldives. So if JDT can put shackles on him, I think they're pretty much going to coast through this tie.
It's the 3rd meeting in 3 weeks between they must hate the sight of each other, but they've been quite close games, right?
Yeah, they've been close. Well, I wouldn't
scoreline
has been close, but if you look at the matches, it's been Johor all the way, because honestly, PDRM, it's not the PDRM we know from last year, where they were top heavy and they were very weak at the back. They've got a balanced squad, but the squad is not good enough. Safan Baharudin has come in from Singapore, and he has made an impact to some extent, but he's not a Bleridon Krishnaki or Diaz or whatsoever. He played up front in the first leg, and well, he had some chances, but he didn't really have a good game, I would say.
Well, the Cops are certainly hoping that it will be third time lucky for them. JDT against PDRM is a Saturday game. In fact, it's the only Saturday game, 9 p.m. kickoff. Right, PKNS are leading 4-0 over Sime Derby from the first leg. This is probably the most done and dusted tie.
Yeah, we might just skip it. Right?
Yeah, but let's talk about the possibility of a Sime Derby turnaround.
Nah, it's not gonna happen. Sime Derby is just gonna sink, and I think they're gonna sink even further and probably end up in the FAM League soon.
They've regressed, right? I mean, there's money in this team. I mean, they've got some good players in there.
But I wouldn't say there's money in the team. If there were money in the team, they'd probably still be in the Super League, because they did not have any big signings last year. So, and well, their coach was relatively good last year, Ismail Zakaria. He's gone on to KL, and KL's now top of the Premier League, and Sime Derby is just going the other direction.
For PKNS, a resounding win like this, they're going to fancy their chances of maybe lifting a trophy. Is that possible?
Definitely. Credit to PKNS after losing Patrick Ronaldinho, who was their main source of goals. They have just carried on. Coach Alel Rasen, never bought any big players. He stuck to most of his foreign imports from last season, who did not feature much because of injuries, and plus experienced head in Jivanathan, in P. Gunalan. They've all been there for a very long time, and they know how to navigate themselves through tough matches like this. And they're also doing well in the league, just 2 points off the top. Really, PKNS, they are a very unassuming team. They do not take things for granted, and they just go out and get the job done. This is considered job done. I think they're already going to be looking at the semi-finals and the resuming of the league.
Also made more difficult for Sime Derby because their captain, Matteo Roskam, is suspended, so he will be watching the trouncing from the stands. In the last remaining quarterfinal, KL and Perak, the capital side, turn it around. They trail 1-0. It's at the Selayang Stadium. It's going to be atmosphere there.
This is the game of the round.
Yeah?
Definitely. The
So,
game of the round.
KL are good this year. They should be playing top tier football. They're the capital city.
It'll be nice to seeing them back in the Super League. Ross, they've had like financial issues. I found that really difficult to believe, because your name is Kuala Lumpur. How can you not find a sponsor? So I hope these things are in the past, and the KL fans, and it's always nice seeing the city team in the Super League, because if you look at Selangor fans, they're a disappointment. They pick their matches, so let's see how the KL fans do.
Yeah, well, I mean, KL fans have been starved recently, but they've gone through a whole lot of change, right? They've changed the whole playing personnel, the management. It's now being done the right way. Yeah,
definitely done the right way, and it shows in the performance. Unbeaten in the league. They may have lost 1-0 in the first leg, but they put on such a good shift, and with the fans coming back to the stadium, as Vijay said, that is the 12th man, and it is one of the unifying factors for Kuala Lumpur to move ahead this season.
Do you reckon they should refurbish Merdeka Stadium? Could we do that?
I think it's being refurbished as we speak.
I'm not too sure about that, to be honest.
I mean, I don't like CKL playing Selayang. It's a bit of a long trek.
They actually played in Cheras not too long ago. That is being refurbished.
They have their own stadium, but that stadium is I don't know. I don't know whether it's a 10-year or a 20-year refurbishment project. Last time I heard, there was like a mini forest on the field.
Unbelievable stuff. So who's going to win the Malaysia Cup then for you, Nick?
The FA Cup.
FA Cup even.
KL definitely favourites, Ross. I would love to see a JDT KL final, and KL to nick it, definitely. That would be my pick.
Oh, that would be a nice story. It's a fairy tale for KL. They stayed in the Premier League by a stroke of luck. Because Lions 12 were kicked out, and the snowballing effect down there. And if now they come back to the Super League, and even in this match, if they go on to win this and later the FA Cup, I think it's fantastic, because the semi-finals is going to be if KL get through, they're going to face PKNS. And
that should be nice.
If Johor and Kedah get through, that's going to be a cracker.
Okay.
So you'll have one Super League cracker, and you'll have one Premier League cracker, and both are going to be excellent games.
Brilliant.
Home and away.
Brilliant. It's nicely poised. So yeah, that's about it. Anything else you want to add, Nick?
Well, the league resumes. It will be very interesting to see if JDT can keep up their form and if Selangor can recover from their mini slump just before the
I don't think they're
season
going to
ended.
recover.
They're not going to recover?
Well, you look
Defensively, there's still a bit of a shambles,
Well,
right?
I think Terengganu is going to recover. I was just talking to Mike Mulvey the other day, and he's delighted to have signed a new contract. He can't wait to get down to proper work, and well, his contract's until the end of the year. And,
Izzy Farhan's in good form.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And
It's the Nasi, isn't it? Yeah.
Plus, you've got Joseph Kalangti and
Yeah.
there's so many players
Yeah.
in the national team which definitely boost their spirits.
I wouldn't be surprised if Selangor don't push Joe for the title. Looking at how it is now and how their tactics have been, they're not really playing impressive football. It's been quite boring except for the burst of Andik on one side, and Andik to me has been a disappointment. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And Gopi on the other side. Gopi's been fantastic. He's been scoring. But apart from that, you're not seeing even Patrick. He's got 5 goals, but what has he been doing to create those chances or to play in his teammates and overall gameplay? I don't think Zainal is getting what he wants from his squad yet.
How much pressure is Zainal under to deliver this season at Selangor?
He's immediately under pressure, Ross. I mean, after 2 defeats, I'm sure he's already feeling the heat because, as mentioned before, Selangor fans are very demanding fans. You know, they want the team contesting at the highest level in all competitions, and this is not just cutting it. Selangor have not been playing well for the last 3 matches, and if they do not improve soon, there will be more calls for Zainal to be removed. There have already been calls on social media for Zainal to take the boot, which led to the manager saying, you know, if we were to follow the fans, last season every month there would be a change of manager.
Yeah, that's a good
Not
point.
really. I disagree that Selangor fans are very demanding. They are demanding because they know about the internal mess that's happening, the internal politics that's happening. Last year, if you look at it, their anger were more on individuals in office and the assistant coach. It was barely on Mehmet, and now it's their angers. Yeah, they are demanding good performance, but they're also annoyed because it's Selangor. It's supposedly the
biggest club, yeah.
biggest team in Malaysia traditionally. You have to be there. If you're not winning the title, you have to be challenging for the title, or even going close. Yeah, if you lose out in the last few games, yeah, so be it. But you've got to show that you're capable of winning, and this Selangor side is not showing they're capable of winning.
Well, I tell you what, this Selangor side will be at home this weekend watching the FA Cup quarterfinals. So good luck to them. We'll try and come back next week and talk about the quarterfinals and maybe preview some MSL for you. For now, I'm going to say thanks to the gentlemen. Thank you very much, Vijay.
Thanks, Ross.
Thank you very much, Nicholas.
Thank you, Ross.
And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, follow us on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything. See you soon. Bye.